How you're doing, Ralfy here, Ralfy Customs. We're back on our mix, Swingarm chop. So what we're on with, we're going to get these rails in to catch this, yeah, so we're going to put an upright in here and we're going to get an upright that goes to there. Before I do that, I want to get the seat rail in because I think that'll make for a better join, and these uprights might join under the seat rail rather than join at this point because there's not a great deal of room with an 1.25 inch joining two bits. I'm not sure how it's going to pan out. And that bit of tape marks where the back wheel comes, yeah, and that bit of tape marks the clearance that I want for the mudguard, so it's going to come here and sit high on the wheel, obviously, and then this has got to join that somehow, and I'm not sure whether to end it short and do struts or whether to use tube, whether to and then do it an up and a dog leg, which is a cunt to do an 1.25 inch, and I might have to join it to do it, which is not a problem, that's absolutely fine, but I'm not quite sure how it's going to pan out. I do know that it's my fucking drawing board lock. I need two rails at 24 inches long with a bend at 7 to 37 degrees. That should be a fucking arrow there. I've missed my arrow in my algebraic type fucking working out. So I've cut the two bits of tube, one's in ready to bend. I won't bore you with me fucking bending it, but I'll get them bent up and then we can look at trimming the ends, we can look at coping the ends to join that backbone and kind of see where it's going to sit. We might have a tack on, we might do a test fit and a dummy run. So that's those two bent up. My camera's fucking dirty, hold on, bear with. Not much better. But we've marked where the backbone's going to come. We'll give ourselves a reference so that we can draw a line through. Look, I'm just showing you how we work out where this needs cutting. And that'll get us sitting about right. Righto, so that gets us there, look. There's my seat rails, all nice and square and everyone's happy. So what I need to do is work out a length back, which I think is about here for the cross brace. And then look at how that's going to sit in relation to the kick up that I need for rear rails, or if I'm going to finish it and then use struts or something similar. Okay, here's the setup now for the next part of the operation. We need to make this bracing tube, the bit that goes across. So we've cut a chunk and we've got 1.25 inch hog saw in, and we're going to run it through. We know we need to move it along 10.5 inches, and that'll get us where we need to be. So I'll run that through and then move it along and do the other end. Right, everything's locked down. We're not going to run it very quick. We're going to use anchor lube because every fucker is. It's very unbearable at the moment. Though I have to say, it don't apply too well out of that can, out of that bottle. I think you better we're brushing it like. Anyway, this is what we're on with. So, we're going to have that through there, like so. Just getting onto the second half now. Come on, baby. Nice and steady away. We'll trim it up and speckle it when we're done. So, the job is a fucking good one. There you go. That's that. We're happy with that. Right, I've got to clear the shit out of there, which is not that difficult because we should be able to lift that up and unscrew the bastard. Oh, hey. and then knock the shit out, knock that out of there like, and that'll just break off and get us about where we need to be. Righto, so next on the agenda is where that, just past that, we want it to bend up, and then it's going to straighten, well, it's going to bend up and then kick up a little bit for the rear section that's going to come across where the back wheel fucking is. So we're going to have something like this, is going to be the seat like that. So I've measured where I want the bend. Get my angle finder, hold on, bear with me. And we've got a tube in, so we'll set that on the former and zero it out, and then we'll make sure that's at 90 and bend 1 at I've guesstimated 35 degrees, which will give me 70 degrees when I join it with another bit of 35 degrees to level out for the back of the frame, if that makes sense. Okay, pay attention, 007. So we've done that kick up, and we've cut a section of tube to graft to it, so we're going to end up with a dog leg like that. Look, we can't get these bends, that bend and that bend, that close together in the bender. It's a no-go, like. So what I've done is set this up on my marking out table, on my fabricating table, worked out my 3-inch lift I need, excuse me, and then we're going to slice through both of them, not at the same time, and make an insert that joins them together, and then we can put it back on here, keep it flat, weld it up, and we'll have a dog leg happy days. Like so, look. So now I'm standing on my tippy toes to frame it, but we've got a dog leg with a join. It's got a sleeve in it. We'll weld it up and fettle it. It'll look fucking like it grew there. So that is kind of my test piece. I'm going to see how that sits. I can duplicate everything here because I've written it down on my marking out table. So we'll be good. And we've got the other side there, we've got the rails, look. They've not been kicked up and bent for the dog leg because I want to make sure it works before I commit to both tubes. And there we go, look. After much ado, we've got those dog legs into the seat rails with a brace. I need to double check where this is going to go, and I'm only going to tack it in place because I'm not fucking 100% on where I want that to sit at the minute, but there's the shape that's going on the top of the frame. So I will tack it in easily accessible places, so if needs be I can break those tacks and move it once it's on the bike. I may even put one across the back just as a keeper, like, just as a brace while we fuck about with it, and then we can get it on the frame. Happy days. And there we go, that's that tacked in place. Right, we've got a centre to centre it, we've got a level to level it, yeah, and we've got a line that is pleasing, and that top bit of tape measures the highest point. If the wheel goes up, sorry, if the wheel goes up that high, you're hitting the ground. You're not, but you know, you're decking out. So I think we can now finally get these rails in, which is where I wanted to be at, and then look at these rails, and so on and so forth.
Don't forget, folks, our Fuckstock stickers are now available in our Etsy store, link in the description below. Fuckstock, you know it makes sense.
Righto, so we're onto these. We're onto these uprights. We up, pan out. Yeah, now I'm going to chop the bottom off with the hole saw to get it to scallop for that, cope for that. But I can't do the top with the hole saw because I've not got one that diameter, 50mm. So we'll get the bottom chopped off on both of those on the old Bridgeport, like we've just seen. Oh, there's a setup from doing the one I've just done. Is we can snug this one up a bit because we only need the very end to go bye-byes. We'll do that on both of those, and then we'll offer them up, and we might change out for the fly cutter to do a 50mm coat. Here we go then. Nosh nosh gnaw gnaw. Through there we go. Bit of ankaloo again. Just to keep things sweet. Ain't it? There we go. Put us in the kitchen just to get things off the ground. Happy days. Boosh. Chop that out nicely. So we'll have that out of there. I'm trying not to knock you with the vise. I'll drop another one in. The other one even. It's not just some random other one, is it, Ralph? Like so. Give that a good tighten. And have it on. Sorry, I'm not filming this very well. I'm having to work around you. Good job of ankle lube. Well, that one goes, Captain. Happy days. Scoop. Banged you in the end. Fucking hell, there you go. Love tap, we'll call it. You'll get used to it. So we reverted to good old-fashioned hand coping with the sander, with the flat wheel on, and just notched them to fit on there. The old saw did the job on there. And the other side's in, look. Ready to rock and roll. So I think next stage is the rail that goes from there to there, and it will have a kink in. Excuse me, I'm eating and I've just breathed in a bit of fucking olive or something, and one across to catch those top engine mounts. So we'll get those worked out, bent up, trimmed up and in. Righto, so moving on, we've got those front rails that go from the swing arm to the bottom of the top tube. 2 at 15" bend at 7 to 45 degrees, question mark, because we'll have a test like. And then the rear rails, 2 at 24, bend at 13, which will about line up with this when it's on the bike, bend at 20. So we've already done these, look. They're ready to be notched and trimmed and tacked in. I'm just going to mark and bend these rear rails, and then that's the main tubing made, really. We'll get that in. We'll get this one in. We'll look at this one, and then we'll brace it up, and we'll get one across to catch those top engine mounts. Righto, so that's them all cut and bent. Look, see a test piece there. Some twat bent it the wrong fucking way. Look, there's an arrow pointing where the bend wants to go, and it makes the bend too low. What we have got is this affair that's going to sit in there, kind of like that, and then this bend where my little finger is going to line up with this bend of that one, ready for a brace across. So I've written on them, look, I've worked it out. It's Saturday morning at the time of filming, so I won't be doing this until next week, I don't think. So future me will know that that's the top of these tubes. Short bit to the boss, leaves the bend where we want it. A long bit to the frame rail at the bottom, leaves this bend, so they'll be about in line on the bike. Happy days. Forget about that top piece, we'll use that for something else, or trim it up for braces or whatever like. You've just seen a quick time lapse of me coping. It's notching, we'll call it. Notching this end. I didn't video all of it because it's just more of the same. So anyway, we've got that one fitted. It comes up and just rolls slightly forward, which I like. Bearing in mind we've got to catch these top engine mounts off a bar that's going to go across here, a bit of this box section I reckon I'll use. That'll give us plenty of strength. And that is that in. I'm going to now get the rear one in the same fashion. Well, I'll do the other side off camera. I'll do the other side and get the rears notched and tacked in, and then that is tubing pretty much done. Right, a quick update. That's those two back rails. You can't see them very well because of all the shit that's on the bench, but there you go. those 2 back rails in place, front rails, fuck me. It's one of them mornings. It's actually Sunday morning at time of filming because I've got something else coming in the next couple of days, so I need to get on with this. So I'm doing a couple of hours on a Sunday morning. So they're in and in line. Look, one side in completely behind the other one, and they just lean forward slightly, slight roll to them, which is lovely. And they come out at the top, which echoes the shape of the bottom one going in. This one comes out a bit more. There's more clearance on this side. It sticks out a little bit more, which is absolutely bang on. That cross piece is absolutely flat with the engine. Look, that rear fucking rail. Yeah, we've bored it up with the angle finder. It's sitting exactly fucking straight. These are a little twisted, but we'll straighten those out once we get the other rails in. And they need trimming off when we mount the mudguard and all that, so we're cracking on. Righto, so we've now got one of the rear rails in place, and I think it's a good opportunity to talk about notching or coping, where we cut the joints so everything fits nice. Now, I'm a fan of leaving a gap when you MIG welding. People who are that used to seeing the joints that you need to make when you're TIG welding, they can often look a bit like, there's a gap there, look, that's not right, surely. But no, that's good. For MIG, that's good. Leave a gap. Not an oofing great fucking gap, like, but you want a gap. Anyway, I digress. Let me show you what I do. I've already done this one, so the first one's the test piece, if you like. And then we can lay that on top of the next one. Because we cut so much off the ends, we always leave them a bit long, right, when I make them, so I've got plenty to play with. I've marked where the new ends are going to be. So we're going to trim that off, and we know that that's a little approximation of the length of it, like. So we just use a bandsaw for that. Look, we put them in, get them cutting. Now, even though I leave it a bit long, my bandsaw's cutting on the wonk. It goes from the top to the bottom, it goes right to left on the cut. And it's all set up right, it's just that I need to change the blade really. The blade wanders, so we'll leave an extra gap there. But we'll just chop these off rough with a bandsaw. Right folks, we've got as far as cutting that rail. And I'm afraid we're going to cut this video short at that. You're going to have to join in on the next one, because we've had this is day 3 of the Renault van. We've had the fucking gearbox out, done the clutch and flywheel, can't get the gearbox back in, it's not even funny. So Renault stops play, so Renault traffic van. Here's the gearbox stuck in place. That back ump's got to lift up to come over here. Miss these power steering pipes. We've had drama of it, to be fair, like. So I'm away on one of our jollies this weekend. So you've got a short video. Renault van stops play as far as bike building goes this week. I want to put this video out still. So, like I say, you're going to have to join me on the next one to see how we get on with this. Oh yeah, just before you go, look. You'll catch this in the next one. This is ready for our Barney. Bless him. Going on to bigger and better things. It will be cherished, loved and used a fuck of a lot more than I have, which is good. And we've gone for something like this for a couple of specific jobs in mind. Stay tuned.